Welcome to the Forge, everyone. I think I've got this vocal part worked out. I've been working on it for a couple of weeks now in the studio and in my head, and I think I've got the two main parts here, and then I think I'll just like sing some chords around it, but check it out. That will be interesting. I'm not sure about that one. They sort of meet an octave apart at the end. Check it out with the orchestration around it. I'm hoping it turns out a little like the vocally to be a little bit Beatlesy, but and here it is with the full band. I'm not sure well how that piano is going to be mixed in, but I feel like I want to do a couple of like scratchy tracks just to get the timing down. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek, because the words, like certain words have to land at certain points to give it this feel that I've been trying to accomplish. And I've had a few sessions at this one chorus and I can't seem to get, I always come back the next day and I just know in my heart that that's not it and I can do better. So I think today I've figured out, like I can truly visualize what I want it to be in my head now. So we're going to work on it again. If I have to stand in front of this microphone for 6 more weeks, I'll get this right. Because there's no turning back once it's out. I can't have these thoughts and feelings when the record's out. So got to do it when you're working on it. Enter the dark if it's true light. Enter the dark if it's true light you see. Enter the dark if it's true light you see. Dig into memories and melodies. Truth and deception merely reflected in I might do some what I call blind guardian whisper takes. Enter the dark if it... That's shit's all over that. Enter the dark. Just get the timing more as... And not burn out the voice too quickly. Just really sink into this tempo. Hey, that's way too... That ain't it. Alright, what's my note? Enter. It's a couple of practices, a couple of practice runs. To the dark if it's true light you seek. Enter the dark if it's true light. Enter the dark if it's. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memory and melody. Truth and deception merely reflected in I. Merely what is it? Dig into memories and melody. Merely reflected in I. Merely reflected in I. Oh. Enter the dark if it's true light you see. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memory and melody. Merely reflected in I. Maybe I should do like a real weak one like that and then tune the fuck out of it. Maybe I'll do my my Tom Busby technique. Shout out to Busby for wording me up about this. Enter the dark. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melodies. Truth and deception really reflected in timing's up. I really have trouble catching the tempo. I don't know what it is. Just gotta relax. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Enter the dark if it's. Enter the dark if it's true light you see. Dig into memory. deception, merely reflected in I. Let's sort this mix out a little bit too. Just boost this a little. We'll get there. Just juice it a little bit. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memory and melody, truth and deception. Enter the true light you seek. Dig into memory and melody. Notes are getting caught. I should start off a little lower. Maybe I will do some just little scratch takes. Where's my C? And enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memory and melody, truth and deception, merely reflected in I. Merely reflected in I. Oh. What have I done here? Here we go. Into the dark, into the dark, into the dark, into the dark if it's true like you see. Dig into memories and melodies, truth and deception, merely reflected in I. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Light you seek, enter the dark if it's, enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memory and melody. Bam 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 bam. Enter the dark if it's, enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memory and melody. Dig into memories and melodies. I'm not swaying, it's got to sway more. Enter the dark if it's, enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melody, truth and deception, merely reflected in I think I want to work with that one. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melody. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memory, enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melody, enter and melody, truth and deception and melody. light you seek. Dig into memories and melodies. Truth and deception merely reflected in us. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melodies. Truth and deception merely reflected in us. I might have to ride just ride the in here. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dark if it's true light you seek. The dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memory and melody. Truth and deception merely reflected in I. Merely reflected in I. Merely reflected in I. Merely reflected in I. Reflected in I. Merely reflected in I. To the dark. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melodies. Truth and deception merely reflected in I. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Bow, mow, 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 mow. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memory, dig into. Open her up a bit. Enter the dark, enter the dark. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melodies. Truth and deception merely reflected in I. Enter the dark. It's a bit loud. Enter the dark. We did peak. We're getting closer though. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melodies. Truth and deception merely reflected in I. Enter the dark if... Jeez, I started off. Didn't start off too good. Let's do it again. Enter the dark. Enter the dark. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melodies. Truth and deception merely reflected in I. That was better. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melodies. Truth and dig into memories and melodies. Truth and dig into memories and melodies. Truth and deception merely reflected in us. Yeah, it's pretty good. I think I can work with this. Truth and deception merely reflected. Truth and deception merely reflected. Truth and deception merely reflected. reflected. Merely reflected. Merely reflected in merely reflected in merely reflected in oh, the world, Lord of the world, Lord of the world, tale of the traveler lost in a dream. Wishes and whispers echo below through the eye of storm. That's how I do it. Lord of the world, truth and deception, Lord of the world, Lord of the world, Lord of the world, ancient great beings, tale of the traveler lost in a dream. Wishes and whispers echo below through the eye of storm. Won't have this one move too much. Lord of the world, Lord of the world, Lord of the world, Lord of the world, ancient truth and deception, merely reflected in Lord of the world, Lord of the world, ancient great beings, tale of the traveler lost in a dream. Wishes and whispers echo below through the eye of stone. I think I can work with that. That's cool. Lord of the world. It's good to knock that over early. Lord of the world. Lord of the world. Ancient great beings. Tale of the Lord of the world. Ancient great beings. Tale of the traveler lost in a dream. Lord of the trust me, guys, I'm gonna be rich. Tale of the traveler lost in a dream. Wishes and whispers echo below through the eye of stone. Ooh, started there at the end. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melodies. Truth and deception merely reflected in enter the dark. 24-hour stream confirmed scrambles. I'm here and I'm sad. Enter the dark if it's enter the dark if it's enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig through light you seek. Through light you seek. Dig into memories and melodies. Dig into memories and melodies. Truth and deception merely reflected in I. Lore of the world, ancient great beings, tale of a traveler lost in a dream. Tale of a traveler lost in a dream. Wishes and whispers echo below through the eye of stone. All right, the timing's good. Lore of the world, ancient great beings. Another theory is I sing along to that and get some, like, takes it close enough. So I feel it sounds like if you auto-tune's a thing, right? Totally. But man, if you can get, there's something about things being a little bit out. If it's there's something nice about it. as an audio experience. Perfection's not always expressive. I say it all the time. But as handy as auto-tune is, and as much as I've used it in the past just to clean up bits that I vocally couldn't get, I want to rely on it less and less. As soon as I finish these demo scrambles, you can come in and cut the real stuff. Way to blow me up on stream, dude. Secret's out now.
Enter the dark if it's true light you see. Dig into memories and melodies. Truth and deception merely reflected in I. Lore of the world, ancient great being.
Tight, man. Yeah, let me know when you're free.
Enter the dark if it's true. Enter the dark if it's. Enter the dark if it's true light you see. Dig into memories and melodies. Truth and deception merely reflected in I. Lore of the world, ancient great beings. Tale of a traveler lost in a dream. Wishes and whispers echo below through the eye of stone.
How hard is it?
Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melodies. Truth and deception merely reflected in I. Lore of the world, ancient great beings. Tale of a traveler lost in a dream. Wishes and whispers echo below through the eye of stone.
Let's work.
Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melodies. Truth and deception melody. Enter the dark. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melodies. Truth and enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into
The first part was a take.
Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melodies. Truth and dig into memory. Dig into memories and enter the memories and light you seek. Dig into memories and melodies. Truth and deception. Dig into memories and melodies. Truth and dig into memories and melodies. Truth and dig into.
This is coming along. This is stronger than ever.
Dig in.
Stronger than the last couple of weeks. It's fascinating. Like if you want to learn to sing, it's amazing how much practice helps.
Dig into memories and melodies. Truth and deception.
That's the only advice I have for you. There's no hacks, just practice.
True.
My voice isn't as good as fucking Dua Lipa, but it's better than it was a year ago.
D's.
It's
Truth.
better than it was 2 weeks ago.
Truth and deception merely reflected. and deception. Truth and deception. Truth and deception. Truth and deception. Truth and deception. Enter the dark if it's true like you see. Dig into memories and melody. Truth and deception.
What's the melody doing there? Whoop. Truth and deception. 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 No. Truth and deception. 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 Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melody. Truth and deception. Merely reflected in eye. Truth and deception. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melody. Truth and deception, merely reflected in truth and deception. Truth and deception. Truth and deception. Truth and deception, merely truth and deception. 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 Merely truth and deception. Merely reflected in eye. True light you seek. Dig into memories and melody. Truth and deception. Merely reflected in eye. I want to sing it softer than I did in the tune part.
True light you seek. Dig into memories and melody. Truth and deception, merely reflected in eye.
Choking up there at the bottom.
True light you seek. Dig into memories and melody. Truth and deception, merely reflected in eye. Lord, merely reflected in eye. Merely reflected in eye. Merely reflected in eye.
Wavering, but it's close.
In eye. Merely reflected in eye. Merely reflected in eye. Merely reflected in eye. And melody, truth and deception, merely reflected in eye. And melody, truth and deception, merely reflected in eye. And melody, truth and deception, merely reflected in eye. Lord, merely reflect, merely reflect, merely reflect, merely reflected in eye. Merely reflect.
reflected in I. Truth and deception, merely reflected in I. Merely reflected in I. Merely reflected in I. And melody, truth and deception, merely reflected. And melody, truth and deception, merely reflected in I. Merely reflected in I. Merely reflected in I. Merely and melody, truth and deception, merely reflected in I. Lord, merely reflected in I. Merely reflected in I. Merely reflected in merely reflected in I. Merely reflected in I. Reflected in I. Turd, not turd. Merely reflected in I. Merely reflected in I. Merely reflected in I. And melody, dream and deception, merely reflected in I. Lord, merely reflected in I. Merely reflected in I. Merely reflected in. Merely reflected in I. Merely reflected in. Merely reflected in I. Merely reflected in I. Merely reflected in I. Merely reflected in I. Truth and deception, merely reflected in I. Alright, kid, you sold me. I like that take. You can keep it. Lord of the world, Lord of the world, ancient great beings, tale of a traveler lost in a dream, wishes and whispers, and Lord of the world, wishes and whispers, wishes and whispers, wishes and whispers, wishes and whispers, echo below through the eye. Wishes and whispers, echo below through the eye. Tale of the traveler of night. Lore of the world, ancient great beings, tale of a traveler lost in a dream. Wishes and whispers, echo. Lore of the world, lore of the world, lore of the world, lore of the world, ancient great being. Lore of the world, lore of the world, ancient. Lore of the world, ancient great. Lore of the world, ancient great beings, tell. Ancient, lore of the world, ancient great beings, lore of the world, ancient. Lore of the world, ancient. Lore of the world, lore of the world, lore of the world, ancient great beings, ancient great beings, ancient great beings of the world, ancient great beings, tale of the ancient great beings, tale of ancient great beings, tale of ancient great beings, ancient great beings. That's where the money's at. Ancient great beings, ancient great beings. I want to like put an effect on that, make it monstrous. Lore of the world, ancient great beings. Tale of a traveler lost in a dream.
Ancient great beings. Tale of a traveler lost in a dream. Wishes and tale of a traveler lost in a dream. Wishes and tale of a
What's up, Learn Quran with me? Hello.
of a traveler lost in a dream. Wishes and of a traveler lost in a dream. Wishes and
Wish we blah, blah, blah.
wishes and whispers. Wishes and whispers.
Sing it lovely.
Tale of a traveler lost in a dream. Wishes and whispers echo.
Wishes and whispers. How am I singing the high part? Wishes and whispers. Wishes and whispers. Wishes and whispers. I think I'll go Super Blind Guardian on it.
Tale of a traveler lost in a dream. Wishes and whispers.
Wishes and whispers. Wishes and wishes and blah, blah, blah.
Tale of a traveler lost in a dream. Wishes and whispers echo below through the eye of star. Wishes and whispers.
Wishes and whispers.
Tale of a traveler lost in a dream. Wishes and whispers echo. Wishes and whispers. Tale of a traveler lost in a dream. Wishes and whispers echo.
Wishes and whispers.
Tale of a traveler lost in a dream. Wishes and whispers echo below. Wishes and whispers. Wishes and whispers. Wishes and whispers. Wishes and whispers.
Echo below through the echo below through the eye. Echo below through the eye.
Lost in a dream. Wishes and whispers echo below through the eye of stone.
Eye of stone. Echo below through the eye.
Echo below. Lost in a dream. Wishes and whispers echo below through the eye of stone.
Eye of stone. I don't want to say stone like an Australian. Stone. Eye of stone. Eye of stone. 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 Stone.
Lost in a dream. Wishes and whispers echo below through the eye.
Through the eye. Through the eye. Through the eye.
Lost in a dream. Wishes and whispers echo below through the. Lost in a dream. Wishes and whispers echo below through the eye.
Echo below. Echo below.
Lost in a dream. Wishes and whispers echo below through the eye of stone. Echo below through. Echo below through. Echo below through the. Echo below through the eye of stone. Echo below through the eye of stone.
I think that's a vocal part.
Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melody. Truth and deception merely reflected in I. Lore of the world, ancient great beings. Tale of a traveler lost in a dream. Wishes and whispers echo below through the eye.
like how it's like I wanted to soften this part. Truth and deception. I don't know if I want to. Lost in a dream, wishes and whispers echo below through the eye of storm. I really liked those takes, but it's got to pick up there. You can't drop off. You can't drop off now. Tale of a traveler lost in a dream, wishes and whispers echo below through the eye of stone. I'm holding it in my chest. Tale of a traveler lost in a dream, wishes and whispers echo below through the eye. Wishes and whispers echo. Wishes and whispers echo below. Wishes and whispers. Wishes and whispers. Wishes and whispers. I need that pad. Tale of a traveler lost in a dream. Wishes and whispers echo below through the eye of stone. Wishes and whispers echo below through the eye of. Wishes and whispers echo below through the eye of stone. Wishes and whispers echo below through the. Wishes and whispers echo below through the eye. Wishes and whispers echo below through the eye of. Wishes and whispers. Wishes and whispers. Wishes and whispers. Wishes and whispers echo below through the. Wishes and whispers. Lost in a dream. Wishes and whispers echo below through the eye of stone. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melody. Truth and deception merely reflected in eye. Lore of the world, ancient great beings. Tale of the traveler lost in a dream. Wishes and whispers echo below. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melody. Truth and deception merely reflected in eye. Enter. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Enter the dark if it's true. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melodies. Truth and deception. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melody. Truth and deception merely reflected in eye. Dig into seek. Dig into seek. Dig into seek. Dig into seek. Dig into rushed it a little. Enter the dark if it's true like. Enter the dark, enter the dark. Gotta get that Blind Guardian on. Enter the dark if it's true. Gotta hold that tennis ball, you know. Enter the dark. Gotta hold your lip balm.
the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melodies. Truth and deception merely reflected in I. Lord, enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melodies. Truth and deception merely reflected in I. Dark if it's true light you seek. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melodies. Truth and deception merely reflected in I. Lore of the world. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Enter the dark if it's true light. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melody. Dig into memories and dig into memories and melodies. Truth and deception merely reflected in I. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melodies. Dig into memories and melodies. Dig into memories and melodies. Dig into memories and dig into memories and melodies. Dig into memories and melodies. Truth and dig into memories and melodies. Truth and deception. Enter the dark if it's. Enter the dark. Enter the dark if. Enter the dark. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melodies. Truth and deception merely reflected in I. Merely reflected in I. I feel my voice warming up a little bit now. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melodies. Truth and deception merely reflected in I. It's a long line, but I think I can get there. It's a long line, but it's doable. And enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig in. Brrr. if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melody, truth and deception merely reflected in I. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memory. Enter the dark if
Yeah, this is pretty.
enter the dark if it's true. Enter the dark if it's true. Enter the dark if it's true light you see. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melody. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melody, truth and deception, and melody, truth and deception, merely reflected in us.
Decent take.
Truth and deception, truth and deception, merely truth and deception, merely reflect,
Merely re.
truth and deception, merely reflected in us. Merely reflect, merely reflected, merely reflected, merely reflected in us, 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 merely reflected, merely reflected in us, merely reflect, merely reflected in. Merely reflected in. Merely reflected in. Merely reflected in. Merely reflected. Truth and deception. Merely reflected in. Truth. Merely reflected in. Merely reflected in. Merely reflected in I. Merely reflected in I.
Got a very wet F in there. But it'll do.
Merely reflected. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into.
I'll redo this part again. 'Cause sang the wrong bit.
Enter the dark. Enter the dark. Enter the dark if it's. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig it. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into. Enter the dark if it. Enter the dark if it's true light. Enter the dark if it's true. Enter the dark if it's true light. Enter the dark if it's true light. Enter the dark if it's true
Just gonna go refresh my drink, empty the bladder. I'll be back.
It's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melody. Truth and deception merely reflected in us. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melody. Truth and deception merely reflected in us.
Alright.
Enter the dark. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melody. Truth and deception merely reflected in us. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melody. Truth and deception. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melody. Truth and deception. Dig into memories and melody. Dig into. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig in. the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melody. Truth and deception merely reflected in I. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melody. Truth and deception merely reflected in
I can do better. It's getting like I can. I'm going for a little bit more emotiveness, and it's causing me to be pitchy. But just got to do the work to get those takes.
Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melody. Truth and deception. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melody. Truth and deception merely reflected in I.
I'm ruining the tale of that. I'm ruining the tale. Gotta.
Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memory and melody. Truth and deception merely reflected in I. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memory and melody. Truth.
It's a good tale. Enter the dark. And enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melody. Truth and deception. Too much.
The dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melody. Truth and deception merely reflected in I. Laura, enter the dark if it. Enter the dark if it's. Enter the dark if it's. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memory and melody. Enter the dark if it. Enter the dark. Enter the dark. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melody. If it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melody. Truth and deception merely reflected in I.
Almost like it's too fast or something. I'm wanting to sway more, but the temp, it's like then I'm just get behind. I don't know what it is.
It's true light you seek. Dig into memories and dig into into memory, dig into memories, enter the dark. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melodies. Truth and deception merely reflected in I. Enter the dark if it's true. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melodies. Truth and deception. Dig into memory. Enter the dark. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memory. Dig into memory. Enter the dark. Enter the dark if it's. Enter the. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memory and melody. Truth and deception merely. Enter the. Enter the dark if it's. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melody. Truth and deception merely reflect. Enter the dark. Enter the dark if it's true. Enter the dark if it's. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melody. Merely reflected.
Gotta sing it all in one.
Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memory.
I haven't got the click on, that's why.
Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melody.
Running out of breath.
Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melody. Truth and deception merely reflected in I. Enter the dark. Enter the dark. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memory. Enter the dark. Enter the dark. Enter.
It's weird. It's like I get pushed or something.
Enter the dark. Enter the dark. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melodies. Truth and deception merely enter the dark. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memory.
What if...
Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melodies. Truth and deception merely
Need more of that piano. Where is it?
Enter the dark. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melodies. Truth and deception merely reflected in I. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melodies. Truth and deception merely reflected in I. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melodies. Truth and deception merely reflected in I.
Let's double that.
Enter the dark if it's true light you see. Yeah. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melodies. Truth and deception. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and
Melody singular. Memories plural. Melody singular.
enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melodies. Truth and deception merely reflected in I. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melodies. Enter the dark. Dig into memories. Dig into memory.
Get some take up here. Give me a take.
Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melodies. Truth and deception. Dig into memories and melodies. Dig into memories and melodies. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melodies. Truth and deception. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melody. Truth and deception. Dig into memories and melody. Enter seek. Dig into memory.
Singing the old one.
Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melody. Truth and dig into. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melody. Truth and deception. Dig into memories and melody. Dig into memories and melody. Truth and deception. Dig into memory. Dig. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melodies. Truth and deception. Dig into memories and melodies. Truth. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melodies. True. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melodies. Truth and deception merely reflected in I. Lore of the lore, lore. Lore of the world, lore. Lore of the world, lore of the world, lore of the world, ancient great lore of the world, ancient great beings, lore of the world, lore of the world, lore of the world, lore of the world, truth and deception, merely reflected in I. Lore of the world. Lore of the world. Lore of the world. Truth and deception, merely reflected in I. Lord of the world, ancient great beings, tale of a traveler lost in a dream. Lord of the world, ancient great beings, tale of a traveler lost in a dream.
shy.
Truth and deception, merely reflected in I. Lord of the world, ancient great Lord of the world. Truth and deception, merely reflected in I. Lord of the world, ancient great beings, tell of a traveler lost in a dream. Lord of the world, ancient great beings, tell of a traveler lost in a dream. Lord of the world, ancient great Lord of the world, ancient Lord of truth and deception, merely reflected in I. Lord of the world, ancient great truth and deception, merely reflected in I. Lord of the world, ancient great Lord of the world, ancient great
I need to do it without that one. I need to
truth and deception, merely reflected in Lord of the world. Lord of the world. Lord of the world. Truth and deception, merely reflected in I. Lord of the world. Truth and deception, merely reflected in I. Lord of the world. Lord of the world. Lord of the
give it some go.
truth and deception, merely reflected in Lord of the world. Lord of the world. Lord of the world. Lord of the world. Of the world. Of the world. Lord 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 of the world.
I want to get it close.
Truth and deception, merely reflected in I. Truth and deception, merely reflected in I. Lord of the world. Truth and deception, merely reflected in I.
without that on. Make it a little blue.
And melodies, truth and deception, merely reflected in I. The love merely reflected in I. Reflected in I. Reflected in I. Merely 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 reflected in I. Merely.
Where are we? Lead 1.
And melodies, truth and deception, merely reflected in I. The love merely reflected in I. The love merely reflected in I. And melodies, truth and deception, merely reflected in I. Merely reflected in I.
I like that one. I'm just going to take that one.
Merely reflected in I. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melodies, truth and deception, merely reflected in I. Truth and deception, merely deception, and melodies, truth and deception, merely reflected in I.
Where am I? Fucking floundering around.
Merely reflected in I. 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 And melodies, truth and deception, merely reflected in I. And melodies, truth and deception, merely reflected in I.
I like the harmony. I like it.
And melodies, truth and deception, merely reflected in I.
We'll get these leads down just a touch.
Merely reflected in I. And melodies, truth and deception, merely reflected in. Merely reflected in I. Merely reflected in I. Merely reflected in I. Merely reflected in I. Merely reflected in I.
There it is.
And melodies, truth and deception, merely
I need to sing something leading into it.
enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melodies. Truth and enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into
Whoops.
Merely reflected in I. Merely reflected. Law of the exception. Merely reflected in I. Law of merely reflected.
Remix.
Law of the world. Merely reflected in I. Merely reflected in I. And melodies, truth and deception. Merely reflected in I. And melodies, truth and deception. Merely reflected in I. And melodies, truth and deception. Merely reflected in I. And melodies, merely reaction. Merely reflected in I. And melodies, truth and deception. Merely reflected in I. Merely reflected in melodies, truth and deception. Merely reflected in I. Merely reflected in I. Merely reflected in I. Merely reflected in I. And melodies, truth and deception. Merely reflected in I. Merely reflected in I. Merely reflected in I. Merely reflected in I. Truth and deception. Merely reflected in I. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melodies. Truth and deception. Merely reflected in I.
It's nice and rich when the harmony hits the bottom there. That's what I'm going for. There's barely any on it too. Haven't even done the actual harmonies yet. This is all lead parts, so far so good.
Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melodies. Truth and deception. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Enter the dark if it's enter the dark if it's true light. Enter the dark if it's dark. Enter the dark if it's enter the dark if it's true. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melodies. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melodies. Truth and enter the dark if it's true. Enter the dark, enter the dark if it's enter the dark if it's enter the dark if it's true.
Yeah, enter the
Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melodies. Truth and deception.
I'm stressing to get it. Which won't work.
Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melodies. Truth and deception merely.
That's better.
Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melodies. Truth and deception merely reflect. Truth and deception. Truth and deception. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melodies. Truth and deception merely reflected in us. Enter the dark if it's true. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melodies. Truth and
Without resonance.
enter the dark if it's
I'm so tentative on that first note. It's this fucking awful habit I haven't broken out of yet. I gotta do that. There's like this staccato practice that I have to do. If you can pitch on a staccato, you don't get that like moment to run up into the note. And I like you look at my Melodyne takes and it's just all like up. Enter the dark if it's true light you. Yeah, we're getting tired.
enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melodies. Truth and deception. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melodies. Truth and
Who sang the fucking plural? Jesus Christ.
melodies. Truth.
Give me strength, Lord. Give me the strength and patience to put up with myself.
True. D's.
Be nice to not have to constantly edit.
D's. Truth and deception. Truth and enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melodies. Enter the dark if it's true light. Enter the dark if it's true light. Enter the dark if it's true light you see. Enter the dark if it's enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig it. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melody. Truth. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melody. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek.
Gotta slow down too. Just give her a little rip.
Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek.
Enter the dark if it's enter the dark if it's sing the part.
Enter the dark if it's true.
Come on.
Enter the dark if it's true, light you seek. Dig into memories and melodies. Enter the dark if it's true. Enter the dark if it's true, light you seek. Dig into memories and melodies. Dig into memories and melody. Dig into memories and melody. Enter the dark if it's true, light you seek. Dig into memories and melody. Dig into memories and dig into memories and melody. Dig into memories and melody. Enter the dark if it's true, light you seek. Dig into memories and melody. Truth and enter the dark if it's true.
Gotta slow down. I think this takes that long for this world.
Enter the dark if it's enter the
Oh, yeah, I'm running out of it.
Enter the dark if it's true, light you seek. Dig into memories and melody. Truth and deception. Enter the dark if it's true, light you seek. Dig into memories and melody. Truth and enter the dark if it's true, light you seek. Enter the dark. Enter the dark if it's true. Enter the dark if it. Enter the dark if it's true. Enter the dark if it's true, light you see. Enter the dark if it's true, light you see. Enter the dark if it's true, light you see. Enter the dark if it's true, light you see. Enter the dark if it's true, light you see. Dig into memories and dig into memory. Dig into memories and dig into memory. Dig into memories and melody. Dig into memories and dig into. Enter the dark if it's true, light. Enter the dark if it's true, light you seek. Dig into memories and melody.
There's some flat fifths in there, which I don't hate, actually. Some blues notes, as they're known.
Enter the dark if it's true, light you. Enter the dark if it's true, light you seek. Dig into memories and melody. Truth and deception merely reflected in I. Enter the dark if it's true, light you seek. Enter the dark. Enter the dark if it's true, light. Enter the dark if it's. Enter the dark if it's true, light. Enter the dark if it's dark. Enter the dark if it's true, light you seek. Dig into memories and melody. Truth and memories and melody. Truth and memories and melody. Truth and memories and melody. Memories and melody. Memories and melody. Memories and melody. Truth and and memories and melody, truth and deception. Enter the enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melody, truth and deception. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and if it's true light. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melody, truth and deception. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melody, truth and deception. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melody.
If I get another one just like that, I'll be happy.
Enter the dark if
Leave a bit. Where's the... Bring the band back.
enter the dark if it's true light you seek.
Getting a little jumpy.
Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melody, truth and deception.
I feel like I can slow her down now. These are good takes. I can slow her down.
Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melody, truth and enter the dark if it's true light.
Let me do it straight to the lead.
Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melody, truth and deception. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melody, truth and deception. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melody, truth and
Alright, I think we're at diminishing returns. I'm just going to take a little rest. Give you
enter the dark if it's
a few bars of it. if it's enter the dark, if it's true light you seek.
Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Enter the dark if it's true.
Enter the dark if it's.
Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melody. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melody. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melody. Truth and enter the.
They're getting better.
Enter the dark.
He says right before delivering that.
Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memory and melody. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig in.
True light you seek. Shorten that up.
Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig in. Enter the.
Way too choppy.
Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Enter the memory. Enter the. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Enter the dark if it. Enter the. Enter the. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Enter. Enter the dark if it's.
Enter.
Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melody. Truth and deception. Enter the dark if it's true.
I'm gonna pipe down a little and try and get some of the lower parts done. I don't know. I think my voice is shot. What have we done? A little over 2 hours. Might just cut my losses. I got some bits in there today, so.
Enter the dark if it's true. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek.
Enter the enter the dark if it enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memory and melody, truth and deception, merely reflected in I, merely reflected in I, merely reflected in I, merely reflected in I, merely enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek.
Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melody. Truth and deception, merely reflected in I.
Merely reflected in I.
Enter the dark. Enter the dark if enter the dark if it enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melody. Truth and deception merely reflected in I. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melody. Truth and deception merely reflected in I. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Enter the dark. Enter the dark. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek.
Enter the... I'm trying to find the spot.
Enter the dark. Enter the dark if it's enter the truth and deception merely reflected in I. Enter the dark. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melody. Truth and deception merely reflected in I. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melody. Truth and deception merely reflected in I. Merely reflected in I.
Well,
And I merely truth and deception merely reflected in I. Truth and deception merely reflected in I. Truth and deception merely reflected in I. Merely reflected in I. Merely reflected in I. Merely reflected in I. And I merely reflected in I. Merely reflected in I. Dig into memories and melody. Truth and deception merely reflected. Truth and deception. Truth and deception. Truth and deception. Truth melody. Truth and deception merely reflected in I. 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 Melody. Truth and merely reflected in I. Melody. Truth and deception merely reflected in I.
in I. What's the... Ooh, what have I done here? Soloed it. In I.
Truth and deception, merely reflected in our melody. 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 Truth and deception, merely reflected in our
Doesn't sound any good on the top.
melody. Truth and deception, merely reflected in our melody. Truth and deception, merely reflected in our merely reflected in our merely reflected in our
Do our low ones. What am I doing? Go boom. No, we don't want.
merely reflected in our merely reflected in our merely reflected in our merely reflected in our merely reflected
Merely reflect.
merely reflected in our
Merely reflected in I.
merely reflected in I. Merely reflected in I.
Merely reflected in I. Merely reflected in I.
Truth and deception, merely reflected in I. Merely
Truth and deception.
truth and deception, merely reflected in I. Truth and deception, merely reflected in I. Merely reflected in I. Merely reflected in merely reflected in I. Merely reflected in I.
Merely
Merely reflected in I. Merely reflected in I. Merely reflected in merely reflected in I.
sing along to that one. Merely reflected in
Memories and melody, truth and deception, merely reflected in I.
merely reflected in I.
And melody, truth and deception, merely reflected,
Truth,
merely
truth and deception.
dig into memories and melody, truth and deception, merely reflected in I.
Truth and deception.
Dig into
Truth and-
memories and
truth and-
melody, truth and deception, merely reflected deception, merely reflected in I. Truth and deception. Truth and deception. Dig into memories. Truth and deception. Truth and deception, merely reflected in I. Truth and deception, merely reflected in I. Truth and deception, merely reflected in I. Truth and deception. 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 Merely reflect. Truth and deception. Merely reflected. Truth and deception. Merely reflected. Truth and deception. Merely reflected in I. Truth and deception. Merely reflected in I.
Getting closer. Truth and deception, truth and deception, merely reflected in I. Rah. Truth and deception. Truth and deception.
Dig into memories. Truth and deception, merely reflected in I. Truth and deception, merely reflected in I. Truth and deception, merely reflected in I.
Truth and deception, truth and deception.
Dig into memories. Truth and deception, merely reflected in I. Truth and deception, merely reflected in I. Truth and deception, merely reflected in I.
It's probably the lowest harmony I've got, I reckon.
The law of the world. Truth and deception, merely reflected in I.
Truth and deception.
Dig into memories and melody. Truth and deception, merely reflected in I. Truth and deception, merely reflected in I. Truth and deception, merely reflected in I. Truth and deception. Truth and deception, merely reflected in I. 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 Truth and deception, merely reflected in I.
Yeah. I don't know. Merely reflected in I. Feel like it's a lead part.
Merely reflected in I. 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 reflected in I. Merely reflected in I. Merely reflected in I. Merely reflected in I. Merely reflected in I. In I. Merely reflected 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 in I. Merely truth and deception. Merely reflected in I. Law of the world. Law of truth and deception. Merely reflect.
Truth
and deception.
Where's F? Truth and deception. Truth and deception. Merely reflected in I.
Truth and deception. Merely reflected in I. Truth and deception. Merely reflected in I.
Merely reflected in I.
Truth and deception. Merely reflected in I. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melodies. Truth and deception. Merely reflected in I. The law of the
Merely reflected in I. Truth and deception. Truth and deception. Truth and deception.
dig into memories
Truth and deception. Truth and deception. Merely reflected in I. Truth and deception. Merely reflected in I. It would be nice. Truth and deception. Truth and
melodies.
Truth and deception. Merely reflected in I. Alice in Chains.
Dig into memories
Truth and
melodies.
Truth and deception. Merely reflected in I. Sorry to hit that third.
Dig into memories and melodies.
Truth and deception. Merely reflected in I. Truth and deception. Merely. Truth and deception. Merely reflect. Truth and deception. Truth and deception.
Merely truth and deception.
Truth and deception. Needs to be bolder.
Dig into memories
Truth and deception. Truth and deception.
merely
Truth and deception.
dig into
Truth and
melodies.
Truth and deception. Merely reflected in I. Truth and deception. Merely reflected in I. We'll get there, don't worry.
Deception.
Truth and deception. Truth and deception.
Merely Truth and deception. Truth and deception. Merely reflected in us. Truth and deception. Merely reflected in I. And melody. Real and deception. Merely reflected in I. Merely reflected in I. Merely reflected in I. And melody. Truth and deception. Merely reflected in I. Open it up. And melody. Truth and deception. Merely reflected in I.
We're getting there.
And melody. Merely deception. Merely reflected in I. 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 Merely reflected. Merely reflected in I. Merely reflected in I. Merely reflected in I. And melody. Truth and deception. Merely reflected in I. And melody. Truth and deception. Merely reflected in I. And melody. Truth and deception. Merely reflected in I. And melody. Truth and deception. Merely reflected in I. Merely. And melody. Deception. Merely reflected in I. Merely reflected in I. Truth and deception. Merely reflected in I. Merely reflected in I. Merely reflected in I.
There's one.
Merely reflected in I. Merely reflected in I. Truth and deception. Merely reflected in I. Truth and deception. Merely reflected in I. Dig into memories and melody. Truth and deception. Merely reflected in I. Truth and deception. Merely reflected in I.
Truth and deception.
Dig into memories and melody. Truth and deception. Merely reflected in I. Dig into memories and melody. Truth and deception. Merely reflected in I. Truth and deception. Merely Truth and deception merely reflected in I. Truth and deception merely reflected in I.
Alright.
Truth and deception. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memory and melody.
Truth and deception.
Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melody. Truth and deception. Enter the dark. Enter the dark. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melody. Truth and deception. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melody. Truth and deception. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melody. Truth and deception. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melody. Truth and deception. Truth and deception merely reflected in our melody. Melody. Truth and deception. And deception. Truth and deception merely reflected in our truth and deception merely and deception merely reflected. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melody. Truth and deception merely reflected in I. Truth and deception. Truth and deception merely reflected. Enter the dark. Enter the dark. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melody. Truth and enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melody. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melody. Truth and deception merely reflected in I. And enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melody. Truth and deception. Truth and deception. Truth. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melody. Truth and deception merely.
Fuck happened there?
Truth and deception. Enter the dark. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melody. Truth and deception merely. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melody. Truth and deception merely. Enter the dark if it's true.
I'm all over the shop here.
Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. deception, merely reflect. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and enter the dark. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig.
I'm gonna try and. This is kind of easy to sing, so it's a great opportunity to get like maximum personality. And by personality, I just mean like nice sibilants, accents, all that stuff that you should go and learn what it is on your own.
Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melody. Truth and deception, really. Truth and deception. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melody. Truth and enter the dark. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melody. Truth and deception, merely enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Enter the dark if it's true light. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melody. Truth and deception, merely reflected in us.
Lovely and warm down there at the bottom of that.
Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melody. Truth and deception, merely enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melody. Truth and deception, merely reflected in. Enter the dark, true light you seek. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melody. Truth and deception, merely enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melody. Truth and deception, merely reflected in us. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melody. Truth and deception, light you seek. Dig into memories and melody. Truth and deception, merely reflected in us.
What have I done here?
Truth and deception, merely reflected in us. Truth and deception, merely reflected in us. Truth and deception, merely reflected in us. Deception, merely reflect. Deception, merely reflect. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig in. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melody. Truth and deception, merely reflected in us. Truth and deception, merely reflected in I. Merely reflected in I. Merely reflected in I. Merely reflected in I. reflected in I.
Merely reflected in I.
Merely reflected in I.
Merely reflected in I.
And melody, truth and deception, merely reflected in I. Merely reflected in I. Merely reflected in I. Merely reflected in I. And melody, truth and deception, merely reflected in I. Merely and melody, truth and deception, merely reflected in I. Merely reflected in I. Reflected in I. Reflected in I. Truth and deception, merely reflected in I. Truth and deception. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melody. Truth and deception, merely reflected in I.
So what's... Enter the dark if it's true, truth and deception, merely reflected in I. Nah, because I want it to go up. I want it to lift, so to speak. Merely reflected in I, merely reflected in I, merely reflected in I.
And melody, truth and deception, merely reflected in I.
Oh!
And melody, truth and deception, merely reflected in melody, truth and deception, merely reflected in I. And melody, truth and deception, merely reflected in I.
Corny.
And melody, truth and deception, merely reflected in I. And melody, truth and deception,
percussive pronunciations, a little bit more articulate.
And melody, truth and deception, merely reflected in us.
Merely reflected.
Melody, merely reflection, merely reflected in I. Merely reflected in I. Reflected in I. Merely reflected in I. Merely reflected in I. And melody, truth and deception, merely reflected in I. And melody, truth and deception, merely reflected in I. Merely reflected in I. Merely reflected in I. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melody. Truth and deception, merely reflected in I.
Ooh, that's rich.
Yeah, and enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melody. Truth and deception, merely reflected in I.
Simple. It's basic.
Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melody. Truth and deception, merely reflected in I. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melody. Truth and deception, merely reflected in I. Truth and deception, merely reflected in I. Truth and deception, merely reflected in. Truth and deception, merely reflected in I. Enter the dark.
Enter, find your note.
Enter the dark. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melody. Truth and deception, merely reflected in I. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melody. Truth and dig into memory. Enter the dark. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melody. Truth and deception, merely reflected in I. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melody. Truth and deception, merely reflected in I. Melody. Enter the dark. Enter the dark. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melody. Truth and deception, merely light you seek. Dig into memories and melody. Truth and deception merely reflected in I. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melody. Truth and enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melody. Truth and enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melody. Truth and enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melody. And enter the dark if enter the dark. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig it. Seek. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melody. Truth and enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melody. Truth and enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melody. Truth and deception. Truth and dig into memories and melody. Truth and deception. Merely truth and deception. Truth and deception. Truth and deception. Dig into memories and melody. Truth and deception. Merely truth and deception. Truth and deception. Dig into memories and melodies. Truth and deception. Merely truth and deception. Dig into memories and melodies. Truth and deception. Merely truth and deception. Truth and deception. Truth and deception. Truth and deception. And deception. Dig into memories and melodies. Truth and deception. Merely truth and deception. Merely dig into memories and melody. Truth and deception. Merely dig into memories and melody. Truth and deception. Merely truth and deception. Truth and deception. Truth and truth and deception. 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 To memories and melody. Truth and deception. Merely reflected. Truth and deception.
It's quicker syllable.
Dig into memories and melody. Truth and deception. Merely truth and deception. Dig into memories and melody. into memories and melody. Truth and deception merely reflected. Truth and deception merely reflected in I. Truth and deception merely reflected in I. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melody.
We can get it.
Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melody. Truth and enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melody. Truth and enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melody. Truth and deception. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melody. Truth and deception merely enter the dark if it. Truth and deception merely truth and deception. Truth and deception merely reflected in I. 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 Truth and deception merely and melody. Truth and deception merely reflected in I. Merely reflected in I. Reflected in I. Merely reflected in I. Merely reflect in I. Truth and deception merely and melody. Truth and deception merely reflected in I. Merely reflect.
It's right at the top of my chest voice.
And melody. Truth and deception merely reflected in I. And melody. Truth and deception merely reflected in I.
It's too powerful.
And melody. Truth and deception merely reflected in I.
Too much. Going too much.
And melody. Truth deception, merely and melody, truth and deception, merely reflected in I. Merely reflected in I.
Damn, that was it, but I didn't hold it.
And melody, truth and deception, merely reflected in I. And melody, truth and deception, merely reflected in I. Merely reflected in I. Merely reflected, merely reflected in I. Merely reflected, merely reflected in I. Merely reflected in I. Merely reflected in, merely reflected in I. And melody, truth and deception, merely reflected in I. Merely reflect melody, truth and deception, merely reflected in I. 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 Merely reflected in I.
Merely reflected in I.
Merely reflected in I.
Oh yeah, we gotta double that shit up.
Merely reflected in I.
Merely reflected in I.
Merely reflected.
Merely reflected in I. Merely what am I doing? Oh, idiot. Merely reflected in I. Merely truth and truth. Truth and deception. Merely reflect. Merely.
And melody, truth and deception, merely reflected in I. Merely reflected in I. Reflected in I. Reflected in.
Whoops.
Dead in I. Dead in I. Truth and deception, merely reflected in I. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melody. Truth and deception, merely reflected in I.
Truth and deception. Merely Truth and deception, merely truth and deception and melody. Truth and deception, merely reflected in I. Merely and melody. Truth and deception, merely reflected in I. Merely reflected in I. Merely reflected in I. And melody, truth and deception, merely reflected in I. Merely reflected in I. It's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melody. Truth and deception, merely reflected in I. Law of the world. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melody. Truth and deception, merely reflected in I. Enter the dark if it's true light you seek. Dig into memories and melody. Truth and deception, merely reflected in I. Thanks for hanging out. I'm going to have some lunch. And I think I might chill out, play some Elden Ring, might stream that, might not. If you want to find out, just jump in the Discord. If you're watching this on a VOD, if you made it all the way through, wow. Thanks. And if you just jumped in at some point, thanks for hanging out. See you on the next one.